All right, Introduction to Computers. This is a Tuesday-Thursday group. And this is the second day we've met. It's a week one. We talked about a few basic things and then we got started. I reviewed briefly data, ones and zeros. We're going to talk about binary a little bit more later on, but this whole idea of understanding what's being moved through. We started right here. We mentioned the processor and we talked about memory. That's stored inside. We talked about different types of computing devices, whether they're calculators, smartphones, tablets, laptops, netbooks, desktops, or servers. We have computing devices. Computing devices have to have some processor that does the work, and then they have memory, things stored in the computer that the processor can directly work with. And then a lot of computing devices have some type of storage, a place they can put stuff that stays permanently. Some of this is getting mushed together. I don't know a better term to put it. But in some cases, like in a tablet, that memory and storage appears to be as one. Okay? Then we talked about the bus. The bus is here, it's green. It's that communication between all the devices. And an easy example to refer to would be a desktop that has a motherboard in there in which those things are all connected. In terms of storage, we have flash storage, we have magnetic storage, and we have optical storage. We either use light, we burn little marks into a DVD and read it with a laser light. We have magnetic, in which magnetic spots are put on a disk, extremely popular on hard drives. And then we have flash, like your flash drive, in which you can store stuff on and have it. Okay, then how does this computing device communicate with the rest of the world? Well, here at the college we have wires that connect it to a device called a switch. The switch can keep track of which computer is which and get the information to the correct computer after they've gone out and get something either from a server or maybe the internet or wherever they're going. In our case, the switch is connected here at the college. We have a multi-layered switch, and from there we can have things connected like we talked about an access point with Wi-Fi, connected back to switches that cover different buildings, classrooms, and so forth. And then we talked about this multi-layer switch. Connected to it is a switch that has the college servers. And we have here a list of a variety of different types of servers. We have servers that supply applications to do the things we need to do, a place we can store our data, web servers like where my NIACC rests, where students can access that or access the college web services. Angel, there's servers that Angel can be accessed also. Okay? And we talked a little bit about the H drive. So you can store things on the H drive here at the college. If you store it on a local computer, then it's only going to be there, and you might have to copy it over to your flash drive or email it to yourself. Or you can store stuff out in the cloud, which we talk more about later. Alright, the multi-layered switch is connected to a firewall. Firewall stops traffic from coming in unless that traffic generated from the inside. So if somebody from the inside goes out to a website, it knows it's going to let that website information back in. It also allows traffic that's destined to the web server and Angel. So the firewall knows if somebody's going to one of those two, and it can allow them in. We have a routing device that allows us to connect out to our internet service provider, which is the Iowa Communications Network. Or here on campus, that router also connects down to another part of college called the IST area, in which they have their own servers, they have their own connections to classrooms and so forth, and their own little firewall, and they use a router for that. Alright, and then we connect out into this bigger picture, and I'll get a bigger view of that. The internet, and I draw that cloud, and we'll talk more about this whole idea of the cloud. And then I gave an example like MediaCom has that connection coming off of MediaCom, where I have our internet access at my house, and I have one of those cable modems that connects to MediaCom, and then off of there I have a little router, which happens to be a Linksys, but a little router that allows for wireless. It has a switch that allows me to connect devices, and it also routes packets or routes information and data, and it actually acts as a small firewall in the home. So it's really a combination of devices like a router, a firewall, and a switch. Alright, so those are the things we talked about today in class, plus I demoed in class how to access the assignments, get started there. We did a little bit with that, and we did a fair amount of work with the outline, how to get started on the outline, and how that functions in terms of keeping your notes on the outline. And Tuesday, we're going to start covering the topics on the outline. Plus, the students have some work that's due Tuesday in terms of the first link in which they need to send me an email, set up their Google account. And that's it.